Seems the spell worked. If Evelyn's inside, she'll have plenty to answer for.
I can picture it now. Afternoon, milady. Have you any councillors' corpses lying around, perchance?
Here! I've got to warn the others!
I've got my eyes on the prize. On the men!
Is you the one what locked this here gate? We need to speak to Evelyn.
Well, myself, I need a hand choosing drapes for me kitchen windows. Are you daft?
I need to inform her about the happenings in the Black Cove. But since my lady seems to have barred her gates to the likes of us, why don't you tell her this, small bones? We've run into a snag in the cove, but we're pushing through. The Starstone will be hers soon enough. I reckon if you don't already know, that may be above your pay grade. Take it up with Evelyn, why don't you? Or, better yet, have a look for yourself. You seem like just the type those pirates would love to get their hands on. Is that right, small bones? Maybe you can give me a single good reason for I rip your arms out. her hair, mate. If Evelyn wants us to know something, she'll tell us herself. In fact, I think she'll thank us for dispatching a meddlesome twerp like you.
It never rains, but it pours, eh? Stars shine brightly today.
To welcome you.
You don't have a leg to stand on. Surrender now! No glory in this death.
People beyond this gate are awfully boring. They just go back and forth between the same places over and over.
These fellows are so focused on their work, they seem to be impervious to any other distraction.
Even the hollering of orcs couldn't shake them out of their strange stupor.
Anyone there?
Face me.
Eye of the eagle! Talons of the hawk!
Battering ram!
My flesh melts before my eyes.
Its own deliverance.
pain heals.
Blessed talisman protect me.
Curse your stupidity, Evelyn. Look over there. Your foolish games have brought source hunters into our very midst. I have no time for these distractions. Brachus Rex's resurrection is at hand. Deal with these insects and join me. Understand?
Of course, O Holy Conduit. I will deal with them swiftly.
See to it that you do.
You! Your stomping through my affairs has cost me dearly. More dearly than you'll ever know. What a pleasure it will be to see the Source shred your every last sinew. Yes, a sorcerer, disciple of blood, chaser of life everlasting. For a true sorcerer, death is but an inconvenience to rid oneself of, Hunter. Brachus Rex, centuries in his grave, will walk again, healthy as a newborn babe. That is our power, the power of sorcery. That wretch is but a thrall, a tool, but the conduit trusted him. I was determined to find out why, and resurrected him. His unwillingness to cooperate has proven something of an annoyance, but no matter. We're nearly through, aren't we, Jake? Just a little more pain. She is our leader. Leandra is her name. The Conduit is her title. She aims to bring about... But no, you are not worthy of such knowledge. The bird does not explain to the worm why it devours it. You mean my bloodstone, I suppose? Ha! It was named like that for a reason, Source Hunter. I'll put it simply. We start with Starstone. A pretty gem, but hardly special. It contains a potential, though, known only to the enlightened few. If imbued with blood, Starstone contains the power to heal. A life given to the stone is a life one can give to another. To save a great life must be sacrificed. This is what the Conduit has taught us. He was the greatest sorcerer ever to have lived. His power outmatches us all. The secrets he carries within him are phenomenal. He will aid us in our task, Hunter. All you have seen, all we are trying to do, this is but the beginning. Considering the imminent turn of the tide, Source Hunter, you should trust me when I say you're better off dead. Brachus Rex is rising, and soon Source will live again.
drenched.
Eternal silence awaits you.
knock you down, then I knock you out. is fast, my target slow.
Plummeting fist!
Die, vermin!
My, the Source Hunter. Dear dead Evelyn told me you had landed in Sicil, drawn to my source-little corpse like flies to excrement. Here I am, a man no longer, a monster instead, unworthy of a conduit's grace. The very same, Jake, counselor by day, sorcerer by night, martyr in death. Me? Do you contest it, huh? You presumptuous dog. I died serving the conduit. Leandra! Leandra! Oh, blessed conduit! I'd have followed you till the end of time. But it wasn't to be. I was struck down in the prime of my sorcery. And by whom? Leandra's own sister. The pox upon her. I, Ikara! Ikara! I spit on every syllable. They call her the White Witch. She is powerful in her own right, but never would I have thought she'd challenge her sister Leandra and kill one of the most loyal. Me? Very little indeed. What concern was that foul woman of mine? White Witch, perhaps, but black sheep of her family too. She shunned her sister's teachings. Can you believe that? She could have been the very conduit's right hand, but she shunned her. Oh, take vengeance upon her, blessed Leandra. I invoke you. Open her veins, bleed her dry, give her a function at last. My murder, a tale of woe. The time, a misty midnight. The place, the King Crab Inn. The players, myself, Leandra, Ikara, and a stranger whose identity I have never established. The conduit was there to meet with this stranger, and had tasked me to stand ready to overpower him if necessary. I heard sounds of passion at first, but later of angry argument. Then I heard Leandra's command, and I entered the room. She swerved past me, and oh, I can still feel the rasp of her holy breath upon my ear, whispered, "Finish him." The man lay on the floor, struck down and ready for my knife, which I plunged deep into his heart. Yet, but not a moment later, Ikara burst through the window, and I was defenseless. She savagely tore my life from my body, and I died in the glow of the source. A holy martyr, slain in the name of the conduit. foolish grasper. She who thought herself the conduit's favorite couldn't stand that I had been privileged as a confidant. When she realized the conduit had been in the inn the night I was killed, she couldn't stand to think that I had been trusted where she had not. She brought me back to unlife so that I would reveal what I knew. She wanted to work her way back into the conduit's confidence. But as you saw, Leandra had no interest in Evelyn's petty tricks. Yes, yes, the king is dead, but not for long. Long live the king! For Blackest Lakes has no equal hunter. His knowledge of the source is absolute, and through him so will the conduits be. The hour is nigh. You do not realize it yet, but his axe is falling towards your scrawny neck. And I am of little use to Leandra's cause now. My worm-eaten rind is an insult to her perfection. To my grave, then, I will go. I suppose she'll not grudge me my portion of rest.
As good as a new penny.
What's that gleam?
I needed that. pain wrought by sword and sorcery stalk this stiff, stirring strumpet beyond the shores of death. Once more we have stumbled upon an amateur. One who disfigures the pallid elegance of necromancy's visage with rank and vulgar imperfections. She dabbled with flesh like a child with its pudding. She was deaf to the screams of her victims as she made the scalpel glide through exposed limbs with the easy grace of birds through air. And for what? For nothing but to command death. The true necromancer. It is life he wants to command. Immortality. Achieve this, and the screams of agony will not have thundered forth from tortured throats in vain. They will be forgotten in the maelstrom of time eternal. You keep your minds on a tighter leash than a priest his hidden desires. You shy away from the necessity that is torment for most short-sighted reasons, for the meaninglessness that is morality. What is humanity, after all, but a gathering of germs from which an exalted few may pluck the subject their studies require and vivisect them into oblivion while propelling themselves into eternity. Glory be this noble pursuit, tainted as it may be by the blunders of simpletons like Evelyn. Let us eradicate such vermin wherever we find it. Let us seal up every crevice it crawls from. But let us never lose sight of the higher purpose that the art of necromancy promises yet. So now to pursue said promise with haste and determination. Death is a friend of time. Life is not.
I think I'll stay off that particular device.
Evelyn just loves ruining beautiful starstones with her sticky red sap. How can Evelyn hate Jake? They're both the best of friends with the white-haired lady. What was her name? Condelia?
Source Hunter, you have done it, haven't you? You've discovered the fate of Counselor Jake. By the gods, no one could have predicted such a dark turn of events. This is worse than my deepest fears made manifest. It just cannot be that they aim to resurrect him. Brachus Rex. It cannot be! Forgive me, this news just so very upsetting. This thing. It was the king of tyrants, the embodiment of terror. The lunatics that seek his rise must be stopped, whatever the cost. I do. I do indeed. Brachus would unseat the king of demons in sheer perfidy and malice given half a chance. For the world, for you and I to suffer his perversions once more is unthinkable. The possibility of his return is more than I can bear. And Ikara, that she has been dragged into this sorry business adds insult to insufferable injury. There have long been rumors that Brachus's corpse was interred in the vaults beneath the abandoned Church of the Seven in Sicil's eastern hinterlands. That place is crawling with undead these days, so the rumors may well be true. Where Leandra goes, the dead rise left and right. And even in death, the long-lost tyrant's corruption appears to persist. Come to think of it, did anyone in Evelyn's lair mention the name Cassandra? It's nothing, Hunter. Nothing. My mind is reeling, but I'll feel better soon. After you've cut short Leandra's dark pursuits. Alas, I haven't the foggiest. Another sorcerer, perhaps? Or simply another victim of Leandra's ploys? The Legion didn't find a second body at the scene of the crime, so maybe he escaped with his life after all. Though, just as likely, his body too was taken away by Evelyn for experimentation. Leandra. I know her, though I haven't seen her in years. As you know, she and Ikara are sisters. It's hard for me to believe that she's leading this cult. That she's delirious enough to go after Brachus Rex. But clearly her involvement can no longer be denied. She's as smart as 10 wizards put together, Hunter. An opponent to be feared. Now, you said Jake and Evelyn called her the Conduit, didn't you? In that case, she may just be the elusive head of the Immaculates. There's a village in the forests north of Sicil where a new religion has taken hold. Its followers call themselves Immaculates, and I've heard say they worship a leader called the Conduit. This village is called Silverglen, and if my suspicions turn out to be correct, there is sorcery at work there. She is a great woman, Hunter, a champion of all that is good and pure. She may have killed Jake, but then again, the man turned out to be a vile sorcerer. I can only surmise that she is on to her sister's sinister schemes, which makes me fear for her safety more than anything else.
Did it sprout legs and run away? Ah, there it is.
And I will see if I can find out more about Ikara's involvement. But in the meantime, please pursue Leandra to the old church in the east and stop her before she can raise Brachus. I beg of you.
Brachus Rex's name alone is enough to turn our friendly neighborhood wizard into a scaredy cat.
I wonder why this ancient spectre spooks him so. Ahu doesn't strike me as the type to scare very easily. And so the mystery is solved. Councillor Jake was murdered by this so-called White Witch Ikara. But as it stands, I guess our next concern is Brachus Rex.
Then we know what we must do next. Pursue Leandra and stop her before she brings Brachus Rex back to life.
Agreed. If Brachus is half as dangerous as Jake and Evelyn claimed, we must prevent his ever seeing the light of day again. Bless the Seven, I am restored!
immaculate amulet fits perfectly inside.
Malia. Precious Malia. I'm a fool. Source Hunter. Ha. By the health of the Seven, you're here. There may yet be hope. Perhaps you remember me as a healer. But gods, what a herald of death I've become. I'm beyond redemption now. But you alone may save Cecile, may save all of Riverland from the horror I've summoned. King Brachus. Brachus Rex from the tales of old. He lives. The mad Source King, the Lord of Chaos. I have awakened him. I've done a terrible thing. I've raised a mad king from beyond the grave. I imagined so very foolishly that I'd be able to extract an ancient secret from him. But with a simple flash of his arcane magic, I was finished. I'll tell you all I know, Source Hunter. Resurrected, revived. The king lives, but not as the man he once was. He retains the mark of death upon him, like a festering wound. The last of the mad Source King's heroes. The tyrant who nearly condemned Riverland to oblivion. He began the War of Wars, marching brother against friend, until every land and home burned with death. It was during this dark time that your order, the Source Hunters, was formed. Brachus was defeated, and Source outlawed from the land. Brachus was a dangerous monster, but he achieved things no man or mortal could have dreamt of. He alone is said to have known a great secret, how to break a forge of souls. I promised to extract this secret for a woman calling herself the Conduit. In exchange, she vowed to reveal to me a certain power of her own. In hindsight, I see that I dealt with the devil, and I've received my damnation. I was given a great stone, a bloodstone, but more charged with life than any I'd seen before. The Conduit said it would imbue Brachus with life enough to share the secret she craved. But what he has become, his powers have all returned, and I cannot stop him. My failures are so many, I can hide them no longer. In my pursuit of the Source King, I've called forth abominations that neither I nor any other can destroy. The ghoul that guards the lighthouse, the Baron of Bones, the twins by fire joined. Their ghastly faces haunt me, and they in turn have rifled through the graves and sarcophagi of Cecile in search of undead minions. Undead, Source Hunter, unkillable. I fear this plague may never end, no matter how many times the rotten dead are defeated. Curse her name, her hell-sent promises. She claims to be a link between her goddess and the world of men. I never believed her divine claims, but I could not deny her great power. It was she who showed me that Bloodstone could be used for more than healing. Her stones, particularly powerful and potent, could raise the dead. What could turn any soft soul towards wickedness? My weakness was love, and it was love that she promised me. The Conduit had shown me how to raise skeletons and zombies from their graves. But what I craved was something far more rare. A second life. A true second life for my wife, Malia. She was a beautiful soul, snatched from the world of the living far before her time. Now the Conduit's promise seemed simple. A secret for a secret. I'd tell her how to break the soul forge, and she'd tell me how to bring Malia back. You can defeat the unholiness I've raised, Source Hunter. You can save the countless innocents that will perish under the Source King's mad fist. I pray... No, I believe you can reverse my failures.
So, Celeron believed that by unleashing these monsters, he'd learn the secret to resurrecting his beloved wife.
Only a true devil would cause such destruction for a bit of fancy necromancy.
He'd feed Cecile to the Hellhounds in the name of ripping his beloved soul from the afterlife and trapping it in her mortal corpse? Disgusting!
One who comes to watch the spectacle, to see the sovereign of the Source ascend again. Or perhaps you are the first in a long new line, the first that will try to stop my dominion again. Oh, by the emerald eyes of the goddess, would you believe that I can still feel it ever so vaguely? The force of the stab that cleft my heart and sent my soul shivering into death. But my followers have done it. They have done it like I knew they would. Blood, the thick red gravy, the source of source, has been yielded unto star-sent stones and has swept away the eternal shadows. How long has it been, I wonder, my first repose in death? An hour? The time it takes the seas to tear down cliffs. It is of no matter. I live, and I shall claim my throne anew. A fable I may have become as time dragged on, but a fact I am once more, little one. Don't you, don't all of you miserable mortals realize that they who are one with Source have thrown off the burdensome mantle of death forever? I embraced Source. I drank it, made it part of my blood and my being. And so a warlord became a sorcerer, and a sorcerer became a king. The fools of this world dubbed me a tyrant. But the gods convinced them I was such, fearful as they were of my rise and power. Armies amassed, too many. Scores I slew, too few. Death took me, too soon, but not for all time. Ha! Not a thing. There was a woman once that went by that name, until I mangled her body into that of a lich. Oh, my sister dearest, Cassandra, and her man-cat. Mere pets of mine, the both of them. Tools to bruise and break as I saw fit. They bled so very beautifully. The reason for my resurrection, O simplest of spirits, is that I was destined to be. Were it not for the vainglorious fools that raised me now, it would have been another, perhaps wiser being that would have done so in time. And time is of no matter, only to be. A woman seeks my secret, for her soul is entwined with another's, yes. Where once they were inseparable, now they have grown apart in purpose and intent. But my secrets are mine to keep. Perhaps when she lies shivering before me, pledging alliance to her king, I will break her forge before I break her. A source hunter. So you are, though you are so much more, and do not even know it. No matter, they still smell like you do, by the by, your brother and sister hunters, as they closed in around me that first time. Fear. That most sly, most intangible of sense. Drowned. I had but to look at them, and they rusted their chainmail where they stood. I undid so manifold they had to wade through the gore of the fallen. Oh, what a feast, what fountains of gravy we had. Alas, that there were too many, as there clearly are too many of you still. Although, life renewed has made me rather peckish. And from the looks of you, you need but the slightest of squeezes to make squirt the sauce's sauce from your soft, fleshy shell. Yes, look at you, plump as a leech, bulging with freshly sucked blood. Oh, I do believe, as my servants would say as they brought in a squirming, plump girl on a plate, that dinner is served. Stand by. Vengeance of fire will follow, and the earth shall take the guise of man. And the children shall burn. And torment
You can try, but you won't succeed.
Here now. But how long the real woman? Ah, oh my. No man. The last year. Stand by.
Grenade of the 5 legs!
this day.
Ugh, I'm dripping.
Is unbearable.
What a deluge.
You look a bit under the weather.
overheating here.
Its own deliverance! Sword of ice!
7 inspire us. It never rains, but it pours, eh?
reach us further.
Darkness.
That is the final end of Brachus Rex. May his soul remain in the depths of hell for good.
What's that gleam?
I've got my eyes on the prize.
Source Hunter, is it safe? Have you done it? Please tell me that you have sent Brachus Rex to the grave once and for all. Magnificent. Oh, truly wondrous. I feel like a prisoner set free, free to bask in the daylight once more. I was so fearful. Petrified almost in the knowledge that I might see him again. You see, I knew the Mad King. In fact, I served him. I'm a wizard hunter, and that means I've seen many centuries pass me by. They weren't always happy ones, and you may take that as an understatement. I was once under Brachus's thrall, bound to him by perfidious magic. Life was an endless cycle of servitude, torture, and humiliation. Only after the first source hunters skewered him like the pig he was did my nightmare end. As you can imagine, I was afraid beyond all measure that the fiend would enslave us all once more. That I'd be cast back into the rank pit that was my past. But he hasn't, and he never will. Thank you. I will never forget this act of valor. You have foiled one of Leandra's vile designs, that much is certain. But I highly doubt you forestalled her endgame, whatever that may be. It is therefore imperative that we find her sister Ikara. As you've learned from the accursed duo that was Jake and Evelyn, the White Witch is somehow involved. I will vouch for her gentle nature, but alas, I cannot vouch for her current state of mind. Has she been corrupted by her sister, perhaps? Or have they become enemies locked in a murderous game of cat and mouse? There's no way of knowing until you find her. What I do know is that she lives in a cabin deep in Lacula Forest to the north. If anywhere, that is where I advise your travels should take you next. So you have heard of her? Yes. I knew Cassandra. She was a sweet girl when we met. Hardly a woman yet. The very opposite of her deranged brother, who did not hesitate to butcher her for his own benefit. We were fast friends in those days. Aye, more than friends. Until he took her down to the dungeons and she returned a woman no longer. A twisted lich had she become, with a twisted mind to match her grisly new shape. He remorselessly and relentlessly sought ways to cheat death. Cassandra and he were soul-forged, so he knew that if she would die, he would die. And so he turned her into a lich. Turned her into a creature neither living nor dead, so that he could break the soul forge without destroying himself in the process. Giving the matter no further thought, he rid his sister of her humanity, so as to rid himself of a spell that could threaten him. Such a man was Brachus Rex. Immortal in his mind and immortal to be in effect. As your swords and spells have demonstrated, though, to this world's everlasting contentment, his deranged fancy was not to be. I don't know. When the Source Hunters besieged Brachus' castle, I sought only to escape. I never heard of her again. Yes, I longed for freedom, for release. When I saw my chance, I ran and never looked back. Very well, Hunter. My gratitude is yours, as is my service.